Okay. We have officially started the webinar, so we're gonna give people a chance to log in here. Try to figure out how to make this work. There we go. Give people a chance to get logged in here. There we go. I was trying to adjust my screen. Hello, everybody. If you're here, I'm going to open up the chat right now. I want you to say hello and where you're from. I see Adam's here. All right. Let's see. Bear with me, guys. We're trying to kind of load everything up on this way. Where is the chat controls? Participants. We should have a Q&A section set up on here as well for anybody who has questions about things. I'm Casey, by the way. Thanks for joining us today. Can't seem to see my participants. That window has disappeared. That's what I was looking for, you guys. Ah, gallery. Found it. Is everybody gonna stay muted? I'm also looking for the chat thing too. Attendee view, gallery. Okay. We have about 5 participants right now. I know that we had about 40 people signed up for this, so I'm just gonna give them a couple more minutes. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Quist, and I am the owner of Shop by Casey. I am located here in California, out in the Bay Area, which is about 40 minutes away from San Francisco, without traffic. With traffic, it could be double that. So I'm here today because obviously it's pretty clear that I love this software. Obviously, it's pretty clear that I'm a huge fan of tech. And so when a software comes out like this that enables me to do things in my business that enhance the client experience, I'm definitely going to be a huge proponent of that and somebody who wants to share that knowledge with others. I've also been very blessed to have quite a few fantastic mentors over the years. And my most recent one is actually a merit image review committee judge for the PPA. And our deal in mentoring was that I agreed to share the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge and experience that I have with others as part of receiving his wealth of knowledge and experience in helping photographers hone the technical side of the images that they are creating. Now, technically, I'm obviously like a huge fan of creating images with lots and lots of light, giving them that cinematic feel. I learned from a Playboy magazine photographer, and I've been inspired by Playboy magazines ever since I began this journey. I think they're some of the most well lit, pre like 2000, some of the most well lit and cinematic movie quality images there are. So the images that we're going to work with today, while they are boudoir images, I've kept them very classy. I've kept them very tasteful. Um, I do specialize in boudoir, but that doesn't mean for you who are watching that this techniques on editing the images to culling the images and making the final selections can't also apply to people doing any other kind of photography, for example. And I also I want to talk a little bit about, as I multitask here, I want to talk a little bit about how I believe it's really, really important to give clients a say. I feel like as photographers, we do a lot of the heavy lifting for our clients and we make decisions for them. And I think that it's highly possible and actually likely that you would be giving your clients a better experience by giving them more of a say over the images that they get to choose. Because especially when your client is a woman, honestly, women, we're unpredictable. We don't know what we're going to like on any given day. So when we have the opportunity to sit down and go through photos together, there's pictures that I have seen 10 times over that I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. Like I even have secret ways that I'll show you to mark images that I like that are my favorites, even if the client herself, if it's not her favorite. So I'm going to show you a lot of that stuff today, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through my process on how I do things, and hopefully you'll be able to learn a lot and maybe even update your process a little bit as well. So, um, Ryan here he is representative of Evoto, so he's going to be here answering your questions in the chat. I actually do not see where the chat is for some reason right now. So um, I won't personally be able to see the chat while I am working with you. However, there is a Q&A section on here that is open and anyone's allowed to post questions. And you guys can upvote, you can comment on the questions. Everything is left open for you. And I think we're just going to jump right in from here, unless I can figure out where the chat is, which I don't see it on my end. Usually it's like right there. It's like a box that says chat. So, yeah, I'm going to jump into the screen share now. I wish I could see the chat, you guys. I'm sorry that I can't. Apps. Like, is there anything else on here? Speaker view. I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Ryan, you can text me where to find the chat if you think you can figure that out. But we're going to start with a gallery of one of my favorite models altogether. Her name is Natalie, and she is just absolutely a doll. I think you guys are going to find that her pictures are absolutely beautiful. We were definitely doing something new with hers. So let's see, share, optimize video, share. All right, guys. I'm now screen sharing. So as you can see, I have Evoto open. Let me maximize it on here for you. I'm in the library module at the moment. So this is 284 photos, which is an actual average for me. Now, I find when I'm working with clients that half the time, well, maybe it's more like a 70-30 thing. 70% of the time, these clients are very scared to be in front of the camera. Obviously, as a boudoir photographer, I'm going to get a lot of people who are nervous about being in front of the camera. They don't move a lot. When you photograph somebody like Natalie or a professional model, for example, she moves a lot. So I always end up taking way more pictures of her than I would for a normal client. For a normal client, it would be this many images spread out over 4 or 5 outfits, 284 as you can see here. But for Natalie, her actual gallery, like I've got her stuff, was like 1,500. I'm not going to open it because it's going to slow things down. But outside of using the smart culling tools, which Evoto has that I haven't fully explored yet, I'm going to kind of go through my culling process with you right now. So, um, we're going to start that there. Give me just a second here as I have all my stuff open and ready for you. I also already have the attendee list set up at the end to draw the 10 winners, so don't think I'm going to forget about you for that. And then we're going to be teaching tethering and culling, basically giving you an entire walkthrough of the day at my workshop in May. So through the PPA, I have a romance-inspired boudoir photography workshop where I literally will have a big, huge 32-inch rolling touchscreen. So as I'm shooting the client and teaching about lighting and posing and interacting with clients professionally, the pictures we're taking will be automatically importing into Evoto and running presets as well. So right now, these photos are raw. You can see that I started to kind of change and perfect my lighting as time went on. But there is no retouching on these at all. So once we kind of go through these, I'll start playing with them a little bit and show you how I might retouch them for proof with the client herself. But we're just going to go through this process exactly as I do it with a client. So hope that sounds good. I see that there's 7 of you here right now. So this is where we start. So usually I will pull up images one by one, and there's a couple ways you can do it. The most popular way that I do it in my studio is yes, maybe, and no. And at this point, you have to make it very clear to clients that yes doesn't mean yes, I'm ordering that. Yes specifically means yes, I want to look at that more. If it's a no because you could delete it and I would like I never want to see it again. Like that's what their no should be. And their maybe is I'm not ready to part with it, but I'm not sure about it either. And this is where you empower them and give them the autonomy and the control back to say things like yes or no. Now, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Natalie and also per my own taste. It does require you to set aside your own feelings about the images as you're going through this process, because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about them and how these images make them feel. Now, the one caveat I have to that is, you guys, if you were my client and I was talking to you right now, I would say, all right, Natalie, we're going to go through these photos. I'm going to have you say yes, maybe, or no to them. Now, and I will explain the breakdown of what yes, maybe, no's. You can also say 1 through 5 and then rate them accordingly. But I would tell her, this is the time for you to be nice to yourself. Now, ideally, there would already be some retouching ran on these because as I'm tethering, I have a preset that I create for every client to see like where I want them so that they're synchronized and they're already partially retouched. So the clients are never seeing them exactly as you're seeing them right now. They will already have been run through presets through Evoto. But I will say, the only thing that can't ultimately be retouched is your facial expression. So I'd like you to start there. I'd like you to focus on the way your facial expression looks so that as we're culling these images, you're not looking at stupid little tiny flaws on your body that I can touch up in 2 minutes with Photoshop if we need to. And with generative fill, make it look like that's how your body really looked. So, be nice to yourself. This is me talking to the client. Be nice to yourself. Let's focus on facial expression first. Overall, how the photo makes you feel. This isn't the time to go searching for flaws on your body. This is the time to decide whether or not it's a good image to start with to compare to others that look similar to it. And you will find clients do sometimes struggle with like, can I see the last one and this one and go back and forth? But we're going to say, pretend this is the only one that you saw that looked exactly like this. Is it a yes, a maybe, or a no for you? So we're going to get started. I want to click to enable auto advance. This is a new feature that is so cool because it automatically makes the pictures go. Now you have the opportunity as well so that I can see the thumbnails larger or smaller, which makes the main image larger or smaller. For them, I'm usually going to be making the main image as large as possible. So we're going to start here. So like, obviously, if they say yes, I'm going to rate that as a 4-star or a 5-star, 4 or 5. If you do 1 through 5, 5 is love, 4 is like, 3 is maybe, 2 is no. So I'm going to say no to this. So this is going to be a 2. This one I think is, I like this. This is doable. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to see that again. Natalie's really pretty, so you're gonna see that I'm gonna have a hard time culling these. This is my best friend. I love her. So I'm saying, yeah. I'm gonna scroll in and check on this. I think that one's kind of pretty. Again, this is no retouching at all. So I'm gonna say yes to that. I don't believe her expression here, so I'm gonna say no, which means I rated it a 2. So as we're going through here, you can see the numbers. If you keep the thumbnails large enough, I can see my 4s and my 2s. So this one, I'm gonna say no. I don't like her facial expression in that. But I'm gonna say yes here. I'm gonna say no because I was really messing with the lighting here. I know I can darken this. I'll keep it for now. I like it. I'm gonna say no. So you know what? That one, I think I rated it as a no. I'm gonna make this a 3. So maybes are gonna be 3s for me. That way, by the time we get to the end, if I'm like, this was a maybe, I can pull up everything equal to 3 and just look at those. So we said no there. That's a no. That's a maybe. That's a yes. And so, again, as a reminder for those who maybe didn't hear, no's are a 2, maybes are a 3, yeses are a 4. If somebody responds and they go, oh my God, that's the most beautiful photo I've ever seen, I'm going to rate that as a 5. Like I'm saving 5s for the ones that bring tears to their eyes and the ones that they have like high, strong emotional reactions to. If you're having them rate them 1 through 5, then you would save 5 for that. Again, 5 is love, 4 is like, 3 is maybe, 2 is no. And we're going to end up using colors for this as well, but for the most part, I want you to understand that we're rating them with clients and we're rating them specifically like this because we're going to utilize filters to isolate the ones that they like so we don't waste any time on any of the ones that they said no to. So kind of going back here to Culling, this is a maybe. I'm going to put 3. That's a 4. I love her smile. That's a 4. I love that. So 4 is yes. That's a no. So it's a 2. I don't like that either. That's a no. So it's a 2. Not a fan. 2. For this one, I'm going to say maybe. For this one, I'm going to say yes. So when I say yes, I mean 4. And you can kind of see if you're wondering, like I say yes, maybe no, just kind of pay attention to the bottom end over here as far as the star ratings. So you can actually see those there, the star ratings. Okay. So we're on this one. That's a no. That's a no. 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 That's a maybe. That's a yes. That's a no. 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 That's it. Love that. So this one, I'm like, oh my God, look at her. 5 stars. That's a no. That's a no. That's a maybe for me. I like that a little bit better, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say no to this, maybe to that, no to that. I kind of like this one. I'm going to say yes. Now, your client's going to be going through the motions emotionally as she sees these. I always tell them this part's the hardest part, but it's not. I don't want you to stress about picking too many because quite often what I'm hearing from them is, I like so many of them. Like that happens all the time. So you have to reassure your client you're not choosing the ones that you're ordering right now. I'm just trying to get rid of the ones that you don't like enough for us to waste any more time looking at. Like she's blinking in this. That's a no. That's a no. Mm-mm. Nope. Maybe. Oh, I like that better yet. Yes. I like that a lot. I'm gonna rate that 5 stars. That's a nope. You're also kind of seeing artistically the first outfit for me is always how I'm testing my lighting. Like you can't tell, but I have 8 lights set up in here. I am lighting the backdrop. I am lighting her bottom half, her top half, her front, her hair. Like these my lighting setups are pretty complicated. But again, I learned from a Playboy magazine photographer. So I'm always looking for areas. I've got a big fill light that's like a 150 watt all this is constant, by the way, and it's sitting literally on top, like about a foot up above my camera, so that no matter what, when she's looking my way, she's getting catch lights and I'm able to fill in so that you can really see the texture of this fabric. So we're getting catch lights in the front, from the sides. We got lots of fill light, lots of rim light. Like, my lighting style is very unique. So if you'd like to learn more about how to kind of light like the Playboy magazine set, that's why you come to my uh, PPA workshop out here in the Bay Area. I'll have another one in June as well that's going to be a weekend experience. So I'll have the links for you. We'll have all of that stuff at the end. But kind of back to culling here. I'm not following a script. I don't know if you can tell that. I'm just being me. So follow along and let me know if you have any questions. Unfortunately, I may not be able to answer them till the end because, again, for whatever reason, like, I cannot see where the chat is at all on my webinar. So um, that's unfortunate. But back to culling here. So we're going to say maybe. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say love on that one. I'm going to say yes, no, 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 yes, maybe. It makes me wonder, because I can't see your comments right now. It makes me wonder how many of you are hearing the way that I'm rating these and disagreeing with me. And if you are, if you're like, what are you talking about? That's great. I love that. Take note of the difference of opinion that you and I are sharing right now. And imagine these aren't pictures of us. So if you and I differ on our opinions, imagine how the client herself would be differing on her opinion of these photos. So just things to keep in mind. Why I want to reiterate to you, giving this level of autonomy to your client is so important. I just think it's the most important thing. So hold on 1 second. Got it. Okay. I was like, let me pull that up. All right, back to culling here. I'm going to say no to this and maybe to that and yes to that. Natalie tends to pull things out a little bit better. We're improving the poses little by little. Like, I think she looks too serious here and here. But then I'm like, can I see your chin up? I'm gonna maybe that. Tilt a little bit left ear towards the left side. I'm gonna maybe that. Now the eyes closed as soon as we went through that. I'm directing each one of those poses. I'm like, ooh, I like that one. Let's test it. Let's switch legs now, right? So we're switching things. Okay, I love this one. I'm immediately going to put that one as a 5. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say yes to this and no to that. No to that. Maybe. Yes. No. Yes. No. I'm going to say no. No. Maybe. All right, getting back. I moved the light a little bit. I could tell. I'm also, because I'm shooting tethered, I'm like taking my shots and then I'm walking around to the screen and I'm looking at the overview like, what do I see? Like, all right, we're getting a little dark here. I'm not noticing a lot of catch lights in her eyes the way that I want. Like, I've lost something here. So one beautiful thing about Evoto is being able to be tethered and seeing these pictures up on a screen so that I can actually see the finished photo and make adjustments before we're done with the photo shoot. So there's lots of benefits to this. So I'm going to say no to this, no to this. I'm going to say maybe to that. Actually, I like that last one better. So I'm going to say yes to the last one. I just hit my arrow back. You'll get real comfortable with your number keys and your arrows when you do this a lot. So if it feels foreign at first, it's okay. I'm going to say no. She looks like she smells something bad in the room. Testing out different hand placements. So that's a no. I'm saying no to these. Now we're changing our positioning. I'm just saying no to these because they're not moving me. I'm going to say maybe to that. Yes to that. Oh, I like that one even better. So I'm going back real quick. Clients say that too. They go, oh, I like that better. So I can easily go back and change that from a 4 to a 3, and then that one's the 4. So no, 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 no. I like this one. We're going to make that a 4. Had her lean back. I was really paying attention to the way the light was hitting her cleavage there, that like that rim of light. So I was adjusting her and micromanaging her movements. And so you see it's like not there where I want it there, but it is where I wanted it here. So I'm going to say yes to that. And then trying to figure where's the sweet spot between not enough light, too much light, and just the right amount. So I'm going to say no to this. Turn towards it definitely gave me the light. We're trying to draw the eye in Boudoir specifically to that area. So to me, it makes sense. However, now I have a shadow on her face from her hair, but I can fix that with generative fill later. So I'm going to say yes to that for now, and yes to this. No to that. Yes, that was the sweet spot. And what you don't know is that as I'm shooting her, I'm kind of adjusting this light forward and back and figuring things out to get this perfect amount of lighting. So it's a lot of work. My days are long and they're unlimited. So that's another thing. I don't time my clients. I don't say I'm trying to book as many as I can in one day. When you book with me, you get me for the whole day because I want to be able to take my time like this. It takes time to create lighting like this and to get poses perfect and to get clients comfortable. So as an artist, I don't like to be pressured and rushed through a quick, fast photo shoot. I'm not profit motivated. While being a six-figure photography studio, which I'm so grateful to be, I am not actually profit motivated. And just a side note to that, being profitable is wonderful, but being fulfilled by what you do is so much better. And honestly, being able to do all of these things that I do in one day, including going through the photos and stopping, like taking a break in between poses sometimes to actually stop and have the client come over and look at them and on the touchscreen adjust the sliders to their retouching preferences for how softened they'd like to be versus natural. Like this level of autonomy makes people feel so safe, and it's everybody, your type A, B, and C people, they're all going to like that. So it's like 1% of people who's like, no, I don't want to see him till the very end. Like it doesn't really ever happen. So um, I'm going to continually encourage you to do things that are going to make this experience more autonomous for your clients. Like going through pictures, showing them as you go along. Plus, when you show them as you go along, it gives you the opportunity to make corrections based on their feedback. So keeping the floor open and collaborative for feedback from your clients means there's way less of a chance that at the end of this that they're not going to like their photos. I actually don't have clients who don't like their photos. Of course, they don't like some of them. Like there's plenty of no's in here, but I've never had anybody not place an order. So it has enabled me to even offer the option for people not to place an order before they book their session with me. I have no fear at all that you're not going to love your photos. I have never had somebody come in, go through an entire shoot with me and not make a purchase. That has never happened to me. But it's definitely not happening now that I have this amazing resource of Evoto to go through pictures with them and work this system with them. So, um, kind of moving along, I'm just going to crank through it. I'm going to say yes, no, 5-star that because it's my favorite. Yes. Okay, I'm actually going to. Sometimes you can go back and forth. Like, oh, which one do I like better? I think I like, oh, this one's hard. I'm gonna 5-star that one. I'm gonna 5-star that one. Oops, actually, we're gonna go back and 4, 5. I already know Natalie liked the other ones better. She preferred her booty that direction, even though this way's pretty cute too. So I'm gonna do it the way I want. I'm gonna say yes, no, no. So she was like down on her flat feet versus coming up on her tippy toes for some of these, which changed her stature, as you can see. when she was flat-footed, she could lean all the way in. So just paying attention to these details because I'm tethered, I can see how they're coming out. I can see what I like better. Um, I'm gonna say yes, yes. I don't need all of these. No, no, no. Natalie happens to have a scar on her forehead from an injury that I love Evoto for because it really softens that for her as well. It's something that she knows she has. She lives with it. She's not like ashamed of it or anything, but it's not necessarily something she wants to see in professional photos of herself at the end of this experience when they're printed into an album. So Evoto is going to give me the option to help her see that scar way less dramatic. And that again, once your customer sees that they look really amazing in these photos, their shoulders drop, they start breathing easier, and they start having fun. So I could keep going. I will keep going with reasons why doing it this way is so empowering for clients. So I'm going to say maybe here. I like that even better. That's a yes. I love that. That's a 5 star. We don't need this. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say yes. No. Trying the other direction. That is freaking beautiful. I'm going to say yes. Oh, I like this is a 4. That's a 5. Trying to get a little further out here. That's a Kate backdrop, by the way, if anybody's wondering. I have a discounted link for you if you like it. Fun story, side note. I'm going to say yes to this and no to that. I've actually always wanted to shoot through a doorway, but I never had the opportunity to do so because of the space that I had. Just wouldn't have worked. But I recently leased out another 1,000 square feet in my building, and I had the other day this idea when Natalie was standing there to put a backdrop in my hair and makeup room in front of the hair and makeup chair. And then I had her stand in the doorway. So we literally just came up with this idea last week. So no reason to build a faux doorway. I just needed the right space to do it. So for those of you with studios who are thinking about shooting through doorways, putting up a backdrop hanger and stand back there it was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And I'm really glad to have had the idea. So I'm going to say no to this, no to this, no to this. These are all going to be no's. Oh, except for that. I love that. That's a no, no. Clients will typically answer this fast. They can tell instantly. No. Oh, we like that. No. Oh, I think I said yes to that. Okay, now we're on to my favorite outfit. Look number 2. We are currently halfway through. Like I said, Natalie moves a lot, and when I have somebody who is a professional model like she is, and they're constantly moving, dropping their head, looking over, looking at, looking away, eyes up, closing, switching their hands. It's when they move a lot, it's very hard for me to control how much I'm shooting. So this is 284 photos that we're going through of 2 looks, but I ended up shooting 5 with her that day, so it ended up being like triple the amount that I would normally shoot. So, and I always do tell real clients, like actual clients, not models, I tell them that if you could just be clay for me and let me sculpt you, I can take fewer photos that are higher quality. That way you don't end up overwhelmed with, 1,500 photos at the end of this experience. Because I mean, look at her. She's so pretty. And I love my clients, all of them, all shapes, sizes, ages, skin colors, doesn't matter. I love what I do. I love my clients. And people do pretty things all the time when they don't realize it. So the faster they move, the more photos I take. But my typical gallery is less than 300, but more than 200 for a 4 to 5 outfit photo shoot. So back to culling. Yes, yes, maybe. Maybe. No. No. I'm gonna 5 star that. Wait, actually, I like that other one better. So that's a 4. This is a 5. That's a 4. It's a 4. Remember, 4s are yeses, 5s are loves, 3s are maybes, and 2s are no. Or you can just do 2 for no and 4 for yes. I'm gonna end up utilizing these filters later to bring up only my yeses and above. So it'll be 4 and above only. And then if for some reason, and it's never happened, but if for some reason we were short and there wasn't enough, I could pull my 3 stars and above up. But that's not going to happen with this gallery because this is Natalie. So no, maybe, no, yes, no, no. We're trying something here. Leaning forward versus leaning back. Me giving her a lot of direction, untying the back of it. I'm gonna say maybe, no. I'm gonna say hell yes. I'm gonna 5-star that, 4-star that. Actually, I'm gonna go back and 3-star this, 4-star that. Um, I'm gonna say yes to that. No, no, yes, no, yes. Oh wait, making this a 3. That's now a maybe. And then this is so having him take a deep breath is a trick I learned from a photographer, Kiati Plukes. Many of you know him. He's amazing. There's a big difference between breath in and breath out. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of starting over again. That's my maybe. This is a yes. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say yes to that. I'm going to 5-star that. I love that. Ooh, and the squint. That's another thing. Ha Squint a little bit, like I told her, and that kind of is a fun tool as well. So I marked that as a yes. This is a no. This is a yes. That's a yes. Actually, no. This is a maybe. That's a yes. Okay, now this is a maybe. That's a yes. That is a, I missed one. That's a yes. I'm gonna 4-star. Yes, that. No. 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 Yes. Yes. Oh, wait. Maybe. Yes. No. Maybe. No. 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 5-star that. Love it. No. Maybe. Yes. Okay, attitude. We love her. Yes. No. Yes. 5-star. Love this picture. Everything about this pose is perfect. What's the difference? So that was eyes open. Eyes closed is nice. I'm gonna rate that as a yes. No, 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 maybe. Oh, yes. See, when I see pictures like this that I know the client wouldn't pick for her album, but I love it, I hit the 9 button and I mark it as blue just because that's like a candid photo that I might just throw in and surprise her with later. Like I might just send it to her just so she has it. It's almost behind the scenes. Like this isn't what goes in her album, but it's still a fun photo that I might want her to see. So I marked that as blue because it's the highest number on the keypad. So I marked it as blue, so I know like that's one of my favorites. Like I personally like that. But I'm not rating it with a star. It doesn't need to be rated with a star. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say yes. No. Maybe. Yes. No. 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 Nope. 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 Yes. I like that even more. So I'm going to go back and say 3, 4, no, yes. I like that even more. So this is a maybe. This is a yes. Nope. Nope. That's cute. Yes. I like that even more. So I'm going to keep that as a 4 and a 4. Yes. Yes. Maybe. Yes. No. Yes. I like that even better. So this is a 3. That's a 4. I like that even better. I think no, the smile's better. 3, that's a maybe. No, 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 yes, no, no, no. That's kind of cute. Yes, yes. No, 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 nope, nope, yes, nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna mark that as a blue. Nope, nope, yes, yes. I'm gonna 5-star this. I actually love this. Actually, I like that better. So I'm gonna say 3 stars to that, 4 stars to this. That's cute. Yes. I'm gonna 5-star that, 4-star that. Yes. Oh, actually, this is a maybe. This is a yes. Actually, I like that better. Oops, I missed one. I'm gonna say no, 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 yes, yes, no, no. Last photo reached. Okay, that was the hard part, you guys. Now, we're going to filter based on ratings for the next part of this culling here. So, we're going to come here to filter based on ratings. All right. So now you can see we have all our stuff. So we're going to go into grid view. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. Now, I'm going to hold my shift button. We cut it down by 2/3. So as you can see, there was 182 photos here in this gallery. Now there's 102. That took us about 25 minutes, I think, so far, because I kind of looked at the clock, like when we got started. So that was about 25 minutes of sitting there. And if I did that with a client, like we're trying to get this whole thing done in an hour. So all right, these photos are the same pose. Actually, I'm going to select all four. So I clicked my first one, held the shift button, selected all four. If I only wanted a couple, I could hold the control button here to like deselect some things and select one at a time. I don't assume everybody knows about the keyboard shortcuts, so I'm always on here trying to educate on every part, even the simple parts. So those of you who know that, please don't take it that I think that you are not smart enough to know that. Like, it's just basic education. I want to reach all levels here, so it's intentional. So, survey mode. This is the thing I asked for that made a lot of people really mad for reasons I still don't understand. But I love survey mode, and I love survey mode because it allows me to hit the end button on my screen, and now I have 4 pictures up here for my clients to choose from. And with the recent update in the beta version, not only do I have those numbers, but I can scroll in and we can closely look at her facial expressions. So when the client's like, I can't really tell the difference. These ones are different. Every single one's a little bit unique. But if you need to, like they really want to see the facial expressions, let's do that. Let's pull these in. Let's see what these faces look like. When we're talking vertical images, like they fit perfectly. 4 at a time is really, really good. So sometimes there's more than 4. Like right now, there's 5 here. I'll show you how I handle that, and kind of where the limits are and where I play with how I show, because obviously the bigger the photo, the easier it is for the client to decide between it. So if I'm pretending I'm the client or you're the client, I wish I could see the chat so somebody could comment for me. I literally do not know how to even open that. I'm so sad that I can't see the chat. But let's say I would ask her, Natalie, which one of these do you like the least? Like, what can you live without? And the reason that I'm specifically asking them, what can you live without, is because when they see 4 images or 3 images or 5 images next to each other, one of them, they're like, ooh, I don't like that. If you ask somebody which one's their favorite, and it's pictures like this, for example, that are all, she looks beautiful in all of them, they're gonna, I don't know, like they're gonna panic. So it's a lot easier to ask a client, which one do you like the least? Which one can you live without? I also like the term live without because by the time we get done cutting from here, the only pictures that are going to be left in this galleries are the ones they can't live without. And do you know what doesn't happen when someone can't live without something? They don't have buyer's remorse. because they literally said they couldn't live without them. So something to keep in mind there. It's kind of subconscious framing to protect you in the long run because the images they choose are the ones they could not live without. So, um, this is what I would say. I would say I can live without number two. So I'm actually going to take that one and I'm going to push the 6 button. The reason I'm coloring it red, I am coloring it red because it is the first round of actual culling that we're doing outside of just what we got to get down. The first round was like yes or no. Let's get rid of what we just flat out don't like. Now we're really culling. But I want to be able to recall what she cut first once we got it down to these 102. So I'm going to hit the red button and then I'm going to push number 3. And now that goes away. So now I have 1, 2, and 3 left. If I'm like, oh crap, what did I cut? Because there's not Control Z on here. Hint to the Evoto developers, Control Z would be wonderful. Can you add that for me? I'd really appreciate it. For now, my workaround is rating it. So if I was like, oh my God, crap, what did I just get rid of? All I have to do is turn my filters off and it's right there because I rated it red. So I as I go through the first ones I cut, I'm going to label red. And then when we cut again, we'll label those yellow. And then when we cut again, we'll label those green. If we even make it to keeping cutting, most clients will stop at like 25, 35 images. And then my favorites are labeled with blue. So turning that off, going back into here. At this point, what I really like to do is tell clients, ideally, we're keeping 2 photos ideally. And they're going to be completely different. One of them, you're going to be looking at the camera, and one of them, you're going to look away. Like we're trying to find 2 or 3 of the most unique photos. We are still going to cut more, but there's some forethought to this process. When we get to these photos, for example, she may decide, I like the eyes closed version from here and the eyes open version from here and the eyes looking away version from here. So that is why I don't want them to cut down to just one at this point. I'm saying keep the 3 you like best with the most unique poses. So she's looking away on both of these and she's looking at the camera here. So obviously this one, we're keeping that. I would tell her choose between 2 and 3. Which one of these do you like more? It's the same exact pose. Your body's doing the same thing. Knowing Natalie, we're going to be keeping 3. She doesn't actually, I think Natalie would keep number 2. So what I'm going to do is mark my 3 as red, and I'm going to press the number 3 button. Now, here's another tip, tool, ask, request from the Evoto developers. Whenever I cut the picture in the row, even if, for example, there is 5 of them in a row, which is the max that you can put in a row and actually still be able to see the photos hella good. If I ever cut the last one in the row, it closes the whole row and then I have to reopen the first 4. So I'm sure the development team will get working on that. But as you can see, for our first pose in that first bit of light, we're keeping a looking at and a looking away. Now let's do these ones real quick. She's got her eyes closed. She's looking at and away. I love all 3 of these. I'm keeping these for now. For now, this is how I'm talking to clients. Like we don't, unless she specifically says, I actually don't like number 3 anymore, which is not what she said because I remember. We're keeping all 3 of these for the moment. So now looking at these ones, I don't like number 1. So 6 makes it red and 3. I don't like number 3 either. So 6 makes it red and then 3. The smiling one's cute, but I really love this one the most. And I think this one, she looks very turned on, which is what I want for boudoir photos. So I'm actually going to cut this one, 6, 3. So now we've got that down to 2. Sometimes clients will say, I don't need either one of those. And this would be one of the times I'd say I agree. So 6, 3, 6, 3. All right, let's pull up. As you can see, there's quite a few of these in the same lighting. So we're going to go 4 at a time. Which one do you like the least? I would say 3. 6, 3. I'm curious, and I'm going to see if I can find the chat after this because the whole thing, I'm recording it. I am really curious if I can see you guys like cut three, cut two, cut four. Like I'd really love to know. I'd really love to know what you guys are wanting me to do. Because yeah, it's definitely not something here that I can see what you guys are saying, unfortunately. My next webinar, I will have that figured out. So, anyways, proceeding through the culling. As far as eyes closed, I think I like the first one better. So this is that thing I was talking about developer wise, what I'd like to see fix. Watch. 6, 3. Now the whole line closed. So I have to reopen it. Not a huge deal, but I'd like to see it where it doesn't close the whole line because I cut the last one. I still like 1. I don't care for 3. Let's get rid of that. I have another workaround for that. Like if I'm gonna end up cutting the last one, um, I'll just add 1 to it. Like I don't like this one. So even though this technically goes in the next lineup for me, I'll just add 1 and then click the one I want to get rid of in 6-3. That way I can keep it open. Um, I like looking down instead of looking up. I like looking up instead of looking away. So I'm going to cut this. Now I'm going to pull up my next 4. I don't like this one now, so I'm getting rid of that. It's funny how when you see things next to each other, you're suddenly like, Um, these are similar enough. I think they can go in together. Like I like her hands here better than there, so I'm gonna go 6-3. And now that I have these first 2, I kind of don't care about these ones at all. So 6-3, 6-3. All right, on to the next set. Here's 4. I think the light is perfect here. So I want to cut this last one, but I don't want it to close my row. So I'm going to add in a 5th one and then cut the last one. I like the lighting on her face better here. So I'm going to cut this one. I'm looking between 1 and 4 right now, and I wish I could see your votes. I really like, how do I pull up the chat? I'm like, somebody Google that, text it to me where I can find the chat as the host, because I sure can't seem to find that out. And also let me check something real quick. Q&A section. More. I want to see something. Give me just a second here, you guys. Oh, Q&A. Not sure if this is the chat. Well, there's no proper chat as I normally see. Okay. My shoot today had to be rescheduled. I'd like to ask, if you don't share, how do you do the whole cull process with edited and color graded images following the shoot? How do you do the whole cull process with edited and color graded images following the shoot? So I don't think there's a chat, there's a Q&A, you guys. So I think that you're gonna have to, I think that you are going to have to just, yeah, this is it, Adam, this is it. So put your questions in there. Great. Now that I can see the Q&A, if you guys want to ask a question and leave a comment, say like cut number whatever. If you guys want to, the 8 of you want to kind of help me do this too, I'm also okay with that. But I'm also trying to teach, so I'm gonna like rock and roll through here. Um, how do I, usually when I'm tethered, Adam, in the first set of photos, I set up my retouching presets in the edit module. So like right here, I would come into the edit module and I kind of start halfway on everything. So like 50, 50, she doesn't wear glasses, so that doesn't make any sense. Coming into here, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. We can't really see much of her skin, so that doesn't matter. No glasses glare. I always turn that one up to 100 to start. And then I go 50 here and 50 here. Forehead, all that stuff is set at 50. Skin retouching. Um, I'm trying to answer your question right now, Adam, as well, as far as how do I do the whole culling process with edited images. Um, so I like textured smoothing, so I'm going to put that at 50. Skin softening, I'm going to put that at 50. Body skin softening is going to be at 50. Skin texture, I pretty much leave all that alone. I don't do reshape or facial expression. I do teeth flaw removals at about 20 by default with clients. Fixed teeth edge, I do this at about 25. On the eyes, every client wants to see their eyes, so I'm like 75. Um, I love a little iris flare on there. We're gonna pop that in to about 40. I was going to show you guys this more at the end once I had things cooled down, but I wanted to answer Adam's question as well. We're going to leave that. Oh, hair. We love this. We love this. Stray hairs, that's all the way up, no matter what, guaranteed. Um, if they have black hair, and this could be a developer issue. If they have black hair and you do smooth hair, sometimes it adds as though you're increasing the blacks and it gives it like a cast that I don't like. So I don't really mess with this too much outside of that. I love a good hair shine enhancement, so I might start that at 25%. I don't change any of this. Every woman wants to see her hands, so I'm gonna 50 that, like see her hands smoother. Um, and I don't really mess with any of this until a client asks me about it. But my favorite is not the AI reshape. What I really like is the body. So if I'm trying to be respectful, I might bring in the body. I like how it brings the edges in without, it's like making her look slimmer without warping the edges to create that Kim Kardashian 2000s Photoshop door frame situation, but I'm not going to do that here or mess with any of these others. But I will hit save preset. I'm going to call this Natalie Evoto. It's going to save everything that I just did. And let me just briefly show you a before and after of how this looks. Before, after, before, after. What I love about it is she still looks like her before, after, but just like polished, a little more magazine ready. So by the, I have this preset that I saved. Obviously, I have a lot of them, a lot, because everybody gets their own, and often people get like multiple, depending on the look or the set or the light. But so this preset is here. When I'm shooting tethered, which I am not right now, I will have the capture location set up to their folder, and then I will have that as this so that it's doing it within seconds as I'm shooting. So, kind of giving you that. I'm going to save that. When we get this down a little further, maybe to like 40-ish images, I will synchronize this to everything. Otherwise, it's going to slow down Evoto and make this whole process take even longer. But just wanted to give you guys kind of the idea. For me, clients are going to see themselves like this. So when I see Natalie, I see her like this because I mean, she's beautiful, but she would come in and probably hone in on a little things that she has no business worrying about. We have Evoto and Photoshop. We can fix all that stuff. Don't say no to an image, a great image because of some stray hairs. Or, a little that kind of thing. So, um, uh, I want to respond to you real quick, Chloe, where you said, I like how you can narrow down. Yeah, it's exactly like Lightroom. That's the whole reason I asked for this mode because I want to be able to use Evoto for everything. I don't want to pay $90 a month for Lightroom and Photoshop. My dream is to not have to even use Photoshop for anything anymore. Like the second Evoto introduces generative fill, they're done. That membership is gone. Like they could suck it. I'm not into it. So we're this close to never needing Photoshop and Lightroom again because of Evoto's technology. Um, um, and I think I already answered this, but do I do a quick edit on them all before I show her? Like I said, I shoot tethered. So I have the Cheetah Stand wireless tethering station. So I've got the tether. Evoto even has like a tether cord. So you put your laptop, you put your computer on, it's a rolling stand, pistol grip, it lifts up and down. You would be able to, every picture you shoot, it's immediately coming in. It's going into a Dropbox folder gallery. I'll just briefly kind of show you mine. I don't know if you can see this, but it's automatically going into her files right here. So all of her raw files, they're just sitting in here. Everything I import automatically goes into this. And as I work them through my process, let me put this into list view. So like new orders start here. Then as they're being worked on, they go here. When they're done ready for review, they go here. Then you can see they until they go complete, and then from complete they go into a 12 terabyte external hard drive that backs up to Google Drive and Dropbox for redundancy. And that is how I keep and store everything for everyone forever. I never delete their stuff. You're never going to hear me tell a client that if you don't buy today, everything gets deleted or discarded. I don't do it. It doesn't feel good. And for those of you that never step in front of the camera as a client, I'm going to ask you to seriously consider how it would feel when someone sells to you the way you're being taught to sell. There's a lot of educators in the space that are teaching some really pushy sales techniques that are real icky. I'm kind of the opposite of that. I step in front of the camera enough that I really take a lot of thought into how what I'm saying and doing is going to make my client feel. For Evoto, my position, my desire is to be an educator for you guys, not to be an influencer, but to be an educator on how you can improve your client experience so that you can have a 5-star review every time like I have. Like I know someone said something negative in one of the comments about don't act like you're killing it. First of all, I wasn't. Second of all, I am killing it. And third of all, that's not even what makes me proud. What makes me proud is that I have nothing but 5-star reviews. That is all I have. And I want that for you. And I want that for your clients, especially your female clients, your headshots, your maternity, your boudoir, which by the way, boudoir is it's so important that you do this well. You can literally destroy somebody's confidence if you don't have a good system in place to treat them well. So that's why I'm really passionate about this. So I know I tend to go on and on a little bit. Um, girl, so I have a rule. 2 terabytes is my limit. I want to answer, Chloe, your question. What do I pay for my Dropbox? Um, I think it's like $700 a year or something. And I keep 2 terabytes for my working files, like clients as they're going through the process. Remember when I like pulled, this is a 2 terabyte drive. So 2 terabytes for working processes. And then once these are completed, they get moved into the 12 terabyte external hard drive that backs up to my work Dropbox that I pay for unlimited storage. So there's really no limit to what I won't pay with regard to making sure I have my clients' images forever in case they ever need or want them to come back and that I never lose them because I am very client focused. I want to always have what they need. But software and subscriptions adds up. Absolutely. Hence why I'm so excited about Evoto because I'm this close to being able to drop almost $100 a month subscription for software I don't even need anymore because Evoto is doing 90% of the legwork for me, which is amazing. And there's some more specific generative fill tools that we have to use in Photoshop and that I still need to send over to a professional retoucher to handle that Evoto doesn't quite, it's not all the way there. It's on its way and they're getting the feedback and they love the feedback, which I love because I've never had a company want more feedback than this company. So you can definitely stick with them. I'm writing it out to see how far they're going to take this software, and I'm looking forward to the day that what you're showing is not on the main screen. Oh, you know what? Let me show you one thing. I think I know what he's talking about. Hold on. I'm going to also share, an entire screen. Here we go. Let me go back here. Adam, you can see the whole screen now, I believe. Can you comment the Dropbox and the organization And yes, I'll answer you in just a second. So this is my personal Dropbox. The storage limit on a personal Dropbox is 2 TB. So I can't have more than 2 TB of client files working. Like I need to be moving them through these processes. So the company I used to do all my retouching through was Two Canoes. They're no longer in business. Um, this is like a picture from my last workshop right here. So these ones are kind of fun. But when we come in here, working files that we're working through, new orders all start here. Once they go into my retoucher's hand for any finishing touches, they go into work in progress. Once I get those back, they get moved into done and ready for review. And it's the entire file, you guys. So it's not just like, so like the one we're working on right now. I shoot her often, so I named it Playboy Magazine. I always put the date and the name. Her raw files automatically imported into here as they were being tethered. Her images that she actually chose that I exported from Evoto went into here. And then when my retoucher was done with them, they went here, which means this is now done, which means her folder needs to get cut from the work in progress and moved into the done. And then from there, my studio manager will start to upload these done images to the online shoot-proof galleries, which I'm slowly converting over to a Voto Instant Gallery because that's amazing. You can stick with your pixie set, your shoot-proof, whatever you want to do. That's totally fine. But we're slowly integrating that. So done, basically, once they get moved, and they get notified and they're uploaded to their online gallery, then we move them into waiting on approval. If they approve them, then they go into improved and ready. If they don't approve them and they want additional retouching through my retoucher, Yulia, then they go into not approved, and I'll let her know with an email. Like, I don't think I have anything sitting in here right now. Oh, one. Um, I'll just let her know and she'll go in there and she'll fix them, and then I'll send them back, put them back into waiting on approval, and then when they're ready, they go here. That's I design albums with them too. Once the retouching, I have them come in and I physically sit down with them and we lay out the album through Fundy together. Um, if we did it on the same day because we had time, sometimes we have time to do it right then and there. And I've sent them, I get a contract signed that they approve the album design, and that's when it goes in here. And then once everything has been ordered, it goes into client complete. And then once every now and then I move all of these because 2 TB isn't very much. So I will actually move all of these into the archive drive that backs up to the work Dropbox with unlimited storage. So I'm paying for personal and work Dropbox, and I have an unlimited Google Drive through my workplace organization. So redundancy is how I never have to worry about losing a client's files ever. So 3 places. Keep your stuff in 3 places at all times. That's my recommendation. Now to go back to Chloe's question, I like how you can make a preset for Natalie. Can you show where that is again? Yes. So under, like, what is this and how do I move it? I don't even know if you can see that. I'm gonna move it up here. Under the edit module, Chloe, so the files are not on your computer, but on Dropbox. Great idea, Stace. They're both. They're locally on my computer while they're being worked on, but then they are also on Dropbox. I have this laptop here that I'm working on, Chloe. This is in my office that you're seeing me in. But the laptop that's tethered is actually the one that's in my studio rolling around on the Cheetah Stand wireless tethering station. And because I have these in the cloud, by the time I get done shooting in there, it's actually popping up in here on this computer. Like I have her gallery open. It is importing on this computer while also synchronizing through Dropbox to my home office PC if I want to look at them when I get home. So because of Evoto Cloud, all of my computers are now talking to each other. And because of Dropbox, the files are available no matter what computer I'm at in the current state I left them at, no matter what computer I started with. So it's pretty amazing, actually. Now, in the edit module, I created the presets, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. Save preset. So I did that. I called that one Natalie. I'm not going to resave it. And then it stayed here under Natalie Evoto in all of my presets. So like I can hit synchronize and sync these 4 photos because they're all selected. I don't have to do it this way when I'm sitting down with clients because I have my computer and my camera tethered, which I will tell you, I was very resistant to when the PPA mentor told me get the camera out of my hands, stop holding it, get it on a rolling tripod. I was so resistant to it. And for the first two times, I was like, I hate this because I'm so used to the micro adjustments. I'm not going to tell you why. I'll save that for my workshop. It is life-changing to not have to hold that camera in your hands. And you will find out why when you see the pictures. It changes the way that you shoot. It changes the way that you see the images. It changes the way that you have your settings, and it changes the way that you interact with your client, and it changes what you notice when you're photographing them. And you have to see it for yourself. For those of you that don't do it, you'll definitely, if you commit to it, tethering in your studio, you will not regret it. I love it. Also makes it really easy for me to crop things because they're all shot the exactly same orientation until I move my tethering station to a different spot for a different post. So there's that. Those are synchronized. And then, yes, suppose I was tethering Chloe. If I was tethering, I'm making sure that this import location is the file that I showed you earlier. Like I'll make date with their client name, make sure it matches. Sometimes I forget and then they're moved into the client befores. So try to remember under your tethering settings. And then that preset that I made, I go in and I change it. So like when I did Molly's photos, I made her a preset so that every photo I took, it started doing that before she even got around to the computer to see it. That preset had already run, so she saw it like this. So that's going to be here under your tethering settings, okay? All right, so finishing off this gallery because I would love to spend all day with you guys, but I don't know if Evoto would love that or if you guys would like me to take all that time. Back into library modules. So now these are all showing. Um, Clients feel differently about them when they see them already retouched like this, by the way, as well. They like them more. So it's a bigger sale guaranteed. So set up your preset in your first couple shots. That way, as you're taking them, your preset's running before they even get around to the computer to look at it. So, of these, I like two better than one. So 6, 3. And I like 1 and 2 the best on these. I can live without 3. So 6, 3. Going back to uncold or unpresetted right now. These are both pretty much the same. I'm going to go 6, 3. And then I think I'm going to pull these 4. Looking down, I like this the least, 6, 3. And these are all her facing this direction in the doorway. I like down, smiling, and looking at. I think I'm going to leave these 4 for right now. All right, now let's pull these ones up. Because of time's sake, instead of saying which one do you like the least, I'm just going to go for the one I like the most, and it's 3. So I'm going to do 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3. All right, these 3 are obviously the same. So she's looking down, away, and at. I like down the least of this, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to leave these both for now till we get to the next step. I'm going to grab these 4. I love this one more than that. Don't know why. I'm just going with a feeling, the same kind of feeling clients get. Um, actually, I'm just going to keep 1 because why? I already did these with her. I can pick what I want. She's not the boss of me. This is a good time to use my little zoom tool and see which one of these facial expressions I like better. I'm going to teach you another trick right now. So is it safe to say that if you do that this way with the preset, then the library calling, yes, my clients don't see them totally raw like you're seeing right now. Because I set the tethering up that way, that preset that I made had already run on all of them before I even got to this office at this desk to show them. So yes. So I'm gonna show you another trick because I can hear Natalie's voice in my head right now. I can't really tell the difference. So we're gonna do the doctor eye test right now. We're gonna double click 1. I'm gonna zoom in, or 2. 1 or 2. Still can't tell. Let's put those as fit. 1 or 2. 1. I like one better for some reason, so I'm gonna go 6-3. I just realized we did something and I can't control Z it, unfortunately. Good thing those are similar enough. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna make that a 3. I accidentally cut one of these because of the auto advance. Bear with me, you guys. It's a brand new tool. That might be a developer thing or just something I have to get used to. Thankfully, this is a finished client. But also, if you accidentally cut one when you have this many, the client might not even notice if you just make the same mistake that I just did. So the shortcut is the letter N. I already love 2 better than 1, so that goes. I'm going to hold the control button and I'm going to add another one because I like to see 4 at a time. I'm going to do the eye test. 1, 2, 1, 2. I like 1 better, so 2 is going to go away. All right, let me pull these 4 up. You know what I'm gonna do? I just figured out the shortcut for that. When you get into this level of it, I think, um, let's turn off auto advance. Click to disable. Yeah, that way I don't accidentally rate things weird. All right, so that's 6 and 3. There we go. Much better. I also like both of these, but let's see. 1, 2, 1. I like that her hand's not cut off here. So there's things that as a photographer, you're going to notice that your client doesn't. But when you go 1, 2 like this, I'll say to her, your fingernails aren't cut off here. So let's cut this one and keep that one. So 6, let's not, I already know how this works now. 3. So now she's left with the 2 best images. All right, let's look at these. We're almost through it, you guys. We're down to 64. Clients love being part of this, by the way. My favorite one of these is probably number 4. So I know this one is my least favorite, so that goes away first. I don't need that one. And I think I like her chin up. So I'm gonna no, 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 no. I'm gonna go with this because I can see, I would point it out to her. I can see her pulling the strings. So 6-3. All right, next pose. Immediately no on number 2. Immediately no on number 3. Hold the control button, select another one or 2. Um, Immediately no to that one. My eyes went straight to number 1. That's my favorite. So I'm just going to kind of ignore that and move past it real quick. Oh yeah, in the library module and Adam, you are correct. It used to only it used to be that way, but in the most recent update, it's much better now. So hold on, guys. My lips are a little bit dry. So let me just fix that real quick. All right. My lips are dry. I'm talking a lot. My husband would tell you this is my normal thing. Okay. Um, I don't believe her facial expression on 3, so I'm going to cut that. My personal preference is no, I don't like that. I love looking, oh, so looking at, looking away, eyes closed. Love those 3. Next. Let's go hand up on the door. Love those 3. Next. Look at the next set. Immediate no. That's a fake smile. I don't need that expression. That's kind of come get it. I don't really need that one either. Looking at these 4. I like the first one better than the second, so that goes. This looks sweet. I love that one too. I don't think I could cut these ones yet. We're still in round 1, which is why we're technically in round 2, but we're rating our cuts as red, so we can easily go reference, like the reds were the ones you cut first. I've never actually had to reference it, but again, redundancy and just making sure you have access to what you did. So no to 1 immediately. It looks like her back hurts. 2 is now the new number 1 is the only one that I really believe she's like, she wants it, which is what we're trying to convey. So 2 goes away. Um, This might be one where I say I don't like any of these. I actually don't. So no and no. Yeah, like look at this one. These don't even compare. So because my eyes immediately went, ooh, number four. Number three is kind of cute, but it's number four. I'll keep number one. I'm gonna make that blue just because it looks kind of like a candid shot, more fun. Two is going and three is going. Okay, adding in these two. Actually, not this one because it's a different pose. There's one, two, three can go. I really like number two. All right. Coming into these ones. That's a no. I just don't care for it enough. We're down to 45 right now, you guys, which is my largest collection. I could get her down to 35 or 25. So that's what I'm never trying to sell them the biggest package I can sell them. I want them to have the images they love the most. Again, I care about them more than me. And it's totally not how the industry operates. It's definitely get the biggest sale you can, add dollars for every extra thing you could get them to add. But my experience as a client has shown me that that sucks and I hate that. And I will put the link in here. Somebody asked me how much my pricing is, and I will put the link. If you're still on here, ask me how much my pricing is. I'll put the link in the thing so you can see what I'm talking about. Because I don't want to pull up the website right now. I want to finish this out. She looks terrified in number three, so that is now a no. 6-3. So that closed me out. As I told you, developer issue, please fix that. One is super fun. Two is kind of cute. I'm gonna leave those for now. Let's skip to here. Um, she looks like her neck hurts there, so I'm taking that out. I love number one. And the looking away one's kind of fun too. I'm gonna get rid of number two. I don't feel as strongly about it now that I'm seeing it. Um, I like both of these. I'm gonna leave both of these. Look at that, we're on the last set. We're getting there, you guys. We would have been faster if this was with an actual client. Because I'm teaching, it's going slower because I'm doing a lot of talking and side quests. So lots of side quests here. Um, I like, as far as what I like the least, two goes away immediately. I also don't like three as much now that I see them side by side. Clients can be very decisive when you enable them through this process. And some clients who, even the ones who are indecisive, like if this were pictures of me right now, we'd be here a lot longer because it's harder when it's my own photos. So sometimes for clients, it's harder when it's their own photos. Sometimes I'll say, do you want me to tell you what I think? The only opinion that really matters to me is theirs, but if they're struggling and I can tell, I will make recommendations and I'll say, I would pick this over this. I don't know, something came up on the side. I don't know, some kind of like Windows pop-up or something. It's something to do with Bixby. I have no idea. I have no idea how to even answer that. I don't engage in politics. I don't talk about politics. I don't share my political views. I don't really even have that many political views. I shoot. I work 70 hours a week. So my focus is my clients. So that's my explanation is I don't know what that was. Something that came up when I scrolled off. I can't even replicate it. I don't know how I did it. So back to what we came here to talk about, anonymous participant. Um, I don't like her facial expression in number three anymore. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I like these both. All right, you guys, we've got it down to 39 photos. So at this point, I will pull something up for you. Give me just a second. I am going to pop up my pricing for you to show you the next step when I'm doing this with clients. So here is my pricing. Let me just put this full screen real quick. My pricing is two parts. There's the session fee and all the things it covers. Those are my hard costs. And then my collections. I know that I shoot 5 to 6 or 7 poses for every client outfit they wear. So I know they're going to want a minimum of 5 pictures, which is why I sell in fives. There's 15 images, there's 25 images, 35, and 45. The bigger the collection, the lower the price per image. However, every collection includes an album, the digital images, The biggest collection includes a complimentary future session, but like I'm not upselling them, like selling them a digital package and then charging them an extra fee for an album and then an extra fee for a folio, um, or extra fees for extra pages. Like only if they did 35 plus like two images, then it would be two. That's the only extra charges they're ever going to get. So they don't have to worry about being nickel and dimed with me. So if I know Natalie and I were to presume that Natalie is at 39 images right now, this is where we're at. She came in here budgeting to do my 25 image collection. That's kind of a lot to shoot or to cut. She might say, I can't do that. Let's see if we can get down to 35. But I think we can get her down to 25. So say that's what's in her budget. I think we can get you down to 25. Are you paying in full today? Because you're going to save 20% if you pay in full versus if we break it up into payments. And again, come to my workshop and I'll explain all of my pricing in detail and all the incentives you get. It's way more than just 20% off if you pay in advance. That's what the workshop is for. That's not what we're doing here today. So, I think we can get her down to this is me talking to her, Natalie. I think we can get you down to the 25. Let's do our best. So I'm going to pop back up here into Evoto. Let's see. Let's look at all of these in this lighting first. So I'm going to highlight them all, hit the end button. I think we should choose the 3 most unique images. So for me, the ones that stood out immediately was like this one. I love this one. So that out of all the looking away, I really love that one. Yeah, that one's really cute. And then the looking at. So if I'm picking this one, I don't need this because I also really like that. So now I'm going to mark this as 7 and it is yellow and it's going to a 3. I'm going to have looking at, looking away. I'm going to cut this looking away because I like that looking away and it's different hand placement. I'm trying to get the most unique. Um, I also know she's going to have other pictures where she has her eyes closed. So I'm going to cut the middle one. If I'm making the purchasing decisions and I'm assisting my client, I'm going to cut the middle one here. So 7 to indicate that's the second time I've cut. I've looked at this 3 times. I'm cutting this now. We're on yellow now for cuts. Let's keep these 2. Hands are different. Lighting's different. Face is different. Let's keep these 2. We're down to 36. We really only need to get down to 25. It's actually going to be 28 if they book on the day of their consult call because I'll give them 3 images for free. So let's try to get it down to 28. Let me pull up let's pull up all of these ones real quick. So we did looking at and looking away. I want to go into grid view real quick, actually. Looking at, looking away, eyes closed. That one's nice. Let's cut this looking away because we already have number 2 here and that's fine. So 7, 3. Now remember, I told you there was going to be something eyes down. I love that picture. I don't want to cut it. And I love her looking. Actually, I'm going to pick this one instead because her looking up and away is so pretty. So I'm going to cut this one. 7, 3. So now look, both hands up, one hand up, hand down, looking at, looking away, eyes closed, hand up and down. Different, different. Let's look at these. She doesn't need all of these. Love, love. She doesn't need all of these. The hands are different though. If I were her, I wouldn't be able to live without. I don't think she needs this one. Let's cut this one. 7, 3. And I don't think she needs this one. I have cuter ones for her. Okay. I don't want to cut the other ones. Let's come into here. There's only one like that. There's 2 like this. I know it's the same exact hand placement, but I kind of want to come back to that. How many do we have in the first look right now? In the first look, we have 11. So if we're trying to get down to 25, we want like 12. And I don't put these in albums in chronological order either. However, let's see what we can do. Let's pretend we are getting her down to the lowest. I really love number one. Never mind, I can't cut these. I love them. I can't live without them. This is how clients talk too. I can't live without them. I have to have all four. So when I lay these out on an album page spread, what I'm likely going to do is put this and this next to on one page spread at the beginning of the book, and then this one and this one on a different page spread at the end of the book. Because I can't live without them. I love them. I don't want them to go anywhere. All right, we're trying to get down to 28. So that's 29, 30, 31, 32. We get four. We only need to cut four. We can cut four. Or we can pretend we're getting her down to 25 because she didn't pay in advance. Let's cut. I'm like, how many can we pull up on here for this? Maximum, let's do 10. So people's eye will naturally go to the one they like the least. My eye kind of immediately went to that one. So I'm going to say, let's cut that looking down one there because I like number 9 better. So that's gone. Actually, I like the new number 9 even better. So let's cut that one because see, developers. Every time I cut the last one, you guys do this to me. We're at 30. Let's try to cut 5 more. I forgot 10 fit better on a page. This one is kind of calling me to get rid of it. So I'm gonna, yeah, and it's the same hand pose as number 1, so she doesn't need it. So unique, unique, unique. She's got her eyes closed in that, looking away. I want to see something real quick. I'm holding my control button. I want to see these looking at the camera ones. Sometimes we'll do this too. Like we don't need all these looking directly at the camera ones. Which one can we live without? We only have about 4 more to cut. This one. Yeah. I'm indecisive too, you guys. Yeah, the lips together, not doing it for me, cutting it. Okay. Now going back to our grid view. Does she need all 3 of these? Does she need all 3 of these? Because we know that we're keeping the first 2. She doesn't have any looking away in this set. This one goes. That just immediately is like, nope. Looking away. Oh, I see. These are both looking away. The hand placement's different. The hand placement's more similar here. Let's cut this eyes closed one. She has a couple of those already. I like all 4 of these. If I had to cut one though, it would be this last one, only because I don't have that facial expression in any other one. And these first 3 are so unique on their own. So we're going to do the hard thing and make it yellow and press that 3 button, which makes me so sad. But I'm going to do it. I did it. You saw me. It happened. I could probably even get her down to the 15 image collection if I really wanted to, based on the amount of culling that we're doing right now. So let's come to here. Love, love. We don't need, actually, you know what? No, we don't need this one because I like the hand here. I'm going to get rid of this one because I like that hand placement better. Looking at, and I like this better than that. So let's get rid of this. Let's look at these last 4. I love the last one. I don't love this one anymore. So if we were doing the 15 image collection, the studio collection that I referenced on here, the studio collection, and she pre-purchased, she'd pay $3,600 plus she'd get 3 extra images. So let's try to get it down to 18. So we're at 21. We're so close. We don't need both of these though. I think I'm going to cut the second one. All right, we only have to cut 2 more and then that's it. Unless she wanted to add 2 more, in which case she could add 2 more. The price on adding the extra 2 is an extra $700, which they will often do. So that's your option there. Let's see. Is there two more? Now I'm just kind of scrolling. Is there any two others that I'm okay, wait, these are really similar. I just held the control button. Hmm. I don't think she needs both of these. And this one I love. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. That's easily one because it's I'm trying to keep her album extremely unique. Yes. So look, both hands up, hand down, hand in the hair, hand on the hip, hand up, hand down in a different way. Face forward, face back, looking up, looking away, um, up and down. I think those are all fine. I don't see any need to cut any of those. Let's see. Oh, it's only one. You know what I would do? What I would do? I'd say, Natalie, shut up. We're not cutting anymore. I'll give it to you. I'll gift it to you. You can charge them for it. I'll probably gift it to her. Like, don't cut anymore. I love them. Please don't cut anymore. I love them. Let's stay here. Um, now, as I said in the beginning, I took triple the amount of photos. I actually have photos in Natalie in like a bunch of different outfits. So when we're exploring here, and I'm gonna just um, Natalie, I'm keeping these small. She chose 35. So that's with the additional add of the additional outfits, the one, two, like we narrowed it down a lot more when it was her. But you could see how in just two looks, that's my smallest collection. So if you wear at least two looks, that's my smallest collection for sure. Unless they cut down. And then of course there's all these, and then there's all these. So we ended up doing four. So one, two, three, four, five. We did five looks and she went with the 35 image collection. So it's perfect. 6 to 7 images is my average per client. Like that's how we got there. So Natalie would have come in and spent 5 grand, no, $6,440 plus tax. She's gonna get a beautiful album with a folio. Um, that's what she did end up getting. So yeah. Now that retouching, I already have that preset saved. These would have already 100% been done because I have my retouching set up to run as I'm doing things. But for the sake of just showing you the retouching, I'm gonna synchronize all of these real quick. So let those do their thing. And again, if any of the 8 of you that are on here are still with me, I want to show you one more thing. Um, just because I think it's good to know. So what I'm going to do right now is let the retouching run on all of those. And then I'm going to custom export. I'm going to find her folder. I'm going to go specific. So export to, find Natalie's folder. I'm going to select it. I'm going to put Evoto webinar choices. Normally I would say like chosen images so my retoucher knows which ones. But this little button right here, create Evoto instant online gallery, I'm gonna put for Natalie. Usually I would put their name, but I'm gonna put it there. So it's gonna create an online instant gallery for them that I can send them that link. Or I can go to this specific folder that I set up and just upload them to my Shootproof or my Pixie set. I'm not gonna change anything. I gave them full size. Like she's getting these pictures today. Now that they've been run through, she's getting them today. So let me show you what they look like now. And I always do sharpen for screen. So let me export those and then just briefly show you. That's with the retouching, without. This is how she saw them. This is how I shot them. This is how she saw them. This is how I shot them. This is how she saw them. This is how I shot it. This is how she saw it. And what a huge giant difference that is. And they don't feel overly retouched. They don't feel overly photoshopped. Like, look at Natalie. This is how I shot it. This is how she's getting it as a proof. So tonight, pretend she was my client tonight, she would be at home staring at these pictures tonight on her phone till 1 in the morning, feeling so beautiful. Because she got them the same day as her photo shoot. And it's only because of Evoto that I was able to do that. So, um, on, off, on, off. Yeah. So she got, look at her scar is even lessened, you guys. Like she doesn't have to think about it when she sees it because it's so much softer. So use the tools that Evoto has for you. They're amazing. And I've really enjoyed actually showing you guys all of this. Now, I know there's some of you on here waiting for your webinar winners. So I've already set that up. Give me a moment. I'm going to do a couple things for you. First thing I'm going to do is actually do a link in here. Oh, I'm sorry, Chloe. I had to scroll down. Yes, she does. So to answer your question, Chloe, yes, she does get the soft edits first. So because I'm tethered, essentially, Chloe, because I am tethered, the preset, the one that you're seeing on my screen right now, that's running as the photos are being taken. So by the time we sit down, they're already softened like this. And then, yes, and then I move it into work in progress, and my retoucher, every day she's checking for anything new in the work in progress. And she'll go in, for example, like on this photo, Chloe, she'll go in, you see how like the edge here needs to be blended. So she'll open this in Photoshop and she'll actually blend that edge out with generative fill and get rid of the little light that's giving her that glow that you see. Obviously I'm big on lighting. Like if we look at the like the light, the way it's hitting her. I want it to look like it's coming from the fireplace behind her. These are some good examples of that. So I'm always playing around with making lighting, using as much lighting as I can, making it look backlight, like it's coming in. And when I use backdrops, the idea is that we're making the backdrop look real by emulating the lighting that would be hitting them if the backdrop was real. And I do work with Kate backdrops and I make custom backdrops as well, but like it looks like there's light coming in this way, this direction. The shadows are falling that way. You got candles, you got a fireplace. Like this lighting makes sense. And so I'm putting light where light would already be coming from based on the setting. That's how do I know where to put the lights? Where would the light be coming from? So, um, the pricing page, I am going to type my answer. Oh no, I'm going to type my answer here for you. Give me just a second. I'm going to copy and paste this into here so you guys have access to it. This is my pricing page. Clients only get it once they're on a consultation call with me. That's the wrong person. Where did your pricing page question go? I lost it. That's okay, Chloe. I'm going to answer another one. Yes. Chloe, can you ask me again about my pricing page? Like put it in there for me and then I can answer it so that everybody can have access to that as well. Oh, never mind. I found it. Type answer. You don't have to ask it again, Chloe. I found it. Got it. Open questions. Just wanted to look at see how you're narrowing it down. Yes. I also am recording this entire thing so I can post it to the group later. So you guys are going to have access to it and Evoto will have access to it and they can clip it and they can use it however you want. I'm wanting to put this out here for you so you guys know what's possible with Evoto. And then I don't ever worry about anything ever again because my retoucher does her thing. My studio manager comes in. The album, I design it with them once the retouching's done or on the day of. So they already know exactly what it's going to look like. We go through the finishes, all the options through Floricolor here. Everything gets chosen. So I never have any clients that are ever upset ever because they chose the outfits. They okayed the hair and makeup. They were part of the posing. They were seeing the pictures as we were happening. They picked the pictures themselves. They got to see every single one. They chose how retouched they wanted to be. They specified any additional requests to my retoucher. They designed the album with me and chose the finishes. And then it all gets sent out. Everything's signed contracts every step of the way. And I have no bad reviews at all. And that is the reason that I am having 5-star reviews constantly. And I'm so grateful. Again, I go back to that gratefulness to have a system in place that allows me to make sure everybody leaves here feeling amazing. So, um, okay, so the workshop, I am so glad you asked that. I'm going to copy and paste the link. I have it up here. I can move it onto the screen. So this is on the PPA events site. It is worth a trip out to the Bay Area, you guys, if you want to come see San Francisco. It's a one-day workshop. It is very inexpensive to register for these workshops, and you are going to get way more out of it than you paid. Like, I can't express that enough. The last workshop we did, everybody said it was the best workshop they've ever been to, because the way that I teach and the stuff that I teach, I'm not gatekeeping nothing. I'm showing you exactly how I do what I do to earn what I did last year, which, not to be arrogant, but last year my gross was $489,000. And just 2 years before that, I was literally about to have to close my doors. Like, the transformation, not only of the way that I provide the experience and service my clients. Actually, I think that's supposed to be on here. Sorry, wrong screen. The transformation of the way that I service my clients has been just as big as the advertising and marketing company that I hired I handed that off so that I could focus on my clients more. And it's the best thing I've ever done for my business. The second best thing I've ever done for my business is start working with Evoto, because I've never met a company that cares more about their users than Evoto. And that's barring any mistakes made and apologies accepted. I hope you guys have, understand that it goes beyond just you and how Evoto treats you and feels about you, but what does this software do for your clients? Because they're the ones that we're serving. And that's what I was saying in my original post. They're the only ones that really matter. I will use any and every tool at my disposal to make a woman feel absolutely incredible, especially in front of the camera, and especially with my niche, being a boudoir photographer. I chose the hardest thing to sell to the people least likely to buy it, and that's a fact. So every tool that I can find, and I will utilize to make sure that they are happy. Plus, I'm a people pleaser. So you can find these events right here on this. It's got all the information. Also, I have a link tree. So I'm going to copy and paste this one for you real quick. Type my answer. Chloe, there's the link to that. My link tree that I had pulled up for you guys is right here. So see that QR code? That QR code is how you get the 50 credits. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that, but I'm also going to copy and paste that in here. Can somebody ask a question about how to reach me directly? Chloe or Adam, can you ask a question on how to reach me directly so I can copy and paste the link tree in there for you? I'll leave that QR code up for a minute. I think I'll even split this screen with you because I want to answer Adette's question as well. But I also want to get ready for the giveaway of the free 100 credits. I did pop the registration list into this randomizer thingy. So when I hit spin, it's going to choose 10 winners, and you guys will get to see that automatically. Thank you very much, Adam. Let me copy and paste this so that I can move that out of the way. I appreciate you. There's the answer to how to reach me directly. Adette's question, end results, one of her photos coming back from the retoucher. I have to be mindful because there are some photos on here that are nude. Well, topless, because we were literally shooting Playboy magazine, and I want Evo to be able to use this content, so I have to be careful about which images I choose. I'm going to pick this one, or any of these, actually. These are the ones that we looked at. So see how like my retoucher blended out the floor? I don't work on these anymore after the photo shoot. She does it. So these are the end results, Adette. And if Natalie had asked for anything more, which she probably did because women that look like this want the most, it's not a disrespectful thing, it's just the truth. They always want they want the most every time. Um, yeah, these are really pretty. So these are how they ended up turning out. Lots of detail from the raw images. Look at her eyes, just like she told me I could even pull it up on my phone. I won't get crazy here, but she literally was like, these I have photographed this girl 20 times. These are the most beautiful photos you've ever taken of me, is what she said. You know what's really crazy? What I'd love to show you guys is when I turn on the tattoo removal and I show her what she looks like without tattoos. Oh my God, it's crazy. You should see this bombshell. She beautiful with and without tattoos, but like, whoa, mind blowing. So, yeah, these are her finished images. I don't know what they look like on your screens, but this is a retouched copy. And thank you so much, Det, for asking that question. Um, how do you reach me directly? Let me pull that back up again for you. And I will leave this QR code up for a minute, and then I'll also run the giveaway for you guys. Let me type answer. And please do reach out to me directly. You guys, it's so weird because I ambassador for so many companies. Like I said, I don't consider myself an influencer. Like, don't hire me if you're trying to get new users. I like to educate people on what I use to make the experience for my clients better and to make my job easier. So as we go through, let me send that link. As we go through, when you see here, there's my Instagram, there's my TikTok, schedule of appearances and talks. You'll find on my link tree, there's my upcoming workshops. Like I work with Spider Holster. I'm an ambassador for them. I'm an ambassador for Cape Backdrops. I'm an ambassador with Florid Color, with Cheetah Stand. Obviously working with Evoto, Viltrox, a really cool monitor that I use in my studio that lets clients adjust the Evoto sliders themselves. This is the company that changed my whole life. All of these are on my link tree. They saved my business. I've never told anybody I was on the brink of bankruptcy because like I don't even know how to do that. Sometimes I feel like a child still. Like, what do you mean? I don't know why somebody would say I said that. I would never. But I was not going to be able to pay my rent. Like when I decided to hire this company, it was either pay my rent or hire them. And the year prior to hiring them, I did $123,000 gross the entire year. 1 year after hiring them, $489,000 gross. So I'm not kidding when I tell you, when you see people saying social media ads are dead, Facebook ads don't work, Google ads don't work, SEO doesn't work. Yes, it does, but it has to be done in the right order, and the website has to be interactive and make people want to engage. And there's so much more to it that as artists that we often have a hard time comprehending every little aspect and how big of a deal it is to get the perfect exposure triangle to get you in front of an audience. I shoot 15, ideally 3 to 5 clients a week, so 12 to 15 clients a month. Right now, this year, first quarter, I'm sitting at $117,000 in revenue by operating my business exactly like this and having the experience the way it is, the outsourcing that I do. I hired a studio manager this year. Like my dreams have finally come true in the last 2 years since hiring that company linked on here. They've changed my business and they're worth every penny. And I would do it again. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm so happy. So anyways, reach out to me with your guys' questions. I'm sure you're going to have more. When people are like trying to take selfies with me and when I'm at, trade shows, teaching and speaking and running demos and booths and hosting live TV shows on, that was a new thing Kate Backdrops had me do, host a 2-hour live show, which I pulled off. I was a goofball. You guys should have seen it. It's on their Facebook page if you're interested. But I'm just a regular person who really, really, really is obsessed with what I do. And when I see a client sit across from me at this desk and she's got tears rolling down her face because she didn't know that she could look that beautiful, my soul feels completed, like full. Like I knew this niche was for me when I had that feeling the first time. Like I can make an impact in the world one person at a time, and this is how I do it. So please, if you want that same thing, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I've definitely linked that up here. Yes, Chloe, join the PPA and then register for the workshop. Correct. I think it's like 200 bucks or something like, and honestly, I don't get any of it. It's literally me paying it forward. But again, that was part of my deal with receiving the mentorship from the PPA Merit Image Review Committee judge and him teaching me the fine technical details that they look for when judging your images for merits or photo competitions. It's things that you would never even think about. Like the way I shoot client work is drastically different than the way I shoot for image competition because there's so many other really technical things. His three stipulations were for me. Actually, I'm going to tell you about two of them. The first one was that I had to agree to be mentored by him at no cost to me. I had to agree to pay it forward and teach, and I had to agree to get the camera out of my hand and onto a rolling stand. And I recommend it for everybody. Hire that advertising and marketing team, work with great tools, and treat your clients like you would want them to treat you if you were the one in your underwear in front of the camera or pregnant or, any other kind of niche that you guys do where you're working one-on-one like that. So, okay, I am going to spin the wheel and 10 winners are going to get chosen who registered for this workshop. And then the rest of you can claim your 50 free credits right here with this QR code. You guys ready? Let's see how this works. Hopefully it works. Kind of fun. I like it. I like I see 8 of you on here. Adam, you lucky duck. All right, Adam, you're the first winner. So you're going to get 100 free credits. This is supposed to do it automatically, like every 10 seconds, but that seems like a long time. I'm going to click it again. Adam, you're the first one. Congratulations, 100 free credits for you. That's 100 free exports. That's for me, that's like 4 clients worth of free images. You don't now have to pay for Evoto for. Cavins, Delbo. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sorry. For those of you asking me questions, I really hope it's you because you've been so committed to staying here. I appreciate you for being present and, being with me for this because I was really excited to teach this. I love to teach people how to treat women better. Like photo shoots are already scary, and that's for regular ones. But when you start doing boudoir, maternity, engagements, bridal, like these processes, these experiences, these matter. So, um, and if you ever want to improve your experience, congratulations, Sweeta. If you ever want to improve the experience and you're like, who do I know who can help me make a bigger difference in the lives of my clients, please reach out to me. I would love to help you. I ain't gatekeeping nothing. Okay. Dina, congratulations. We're on winner number 5 right now. Bieda, Bieda, I don't know how I'm saying that, but you also are a winner. Congratulations. All right, we have 4 more. I really love this. This is actually kind of a cool app, you guys. It's very random. I dig it. Sona, there was about 40 of you registered. And for those of you that are asking questions and really engaging and interacting, I am going to be asking Evoto to possibly throw a few extra credits your way because I really appreciate the engagement and I feel like you guys deserve it for asking such great questions. Keisha for registering. We've got 2 more. Amy Harper, congratulations. And I think we got 1 more, you guys. And remember that QR code on the side there is for your 50 free credits. You're all getting free credits anyway, but and Derek Moss. Do we have one more winner? Am I tripping? Let's click it. Oh, this is winner number 10. Listen, I'm a photographer. I don't do math. Dennis Mock. All right. I'm going to put the list up here. View all winners. So you guys can see all of you are getting 100 free credits. It's all going to be linked to your email. So I'm sure you'll get some kind of email from the team with those credits loaded up. That's a lot of credits for me. That on my average image collection sold is the 25 image collection. So to me, that's going to save me money for every client. So congratulations on your free credits. 50 credits free on your left-hand side form. There is the link to my link tree where you can access this QR code at any point. As long as it's up there and the QR code is still working, scan it, get those credits. If you want to reach out to me, you can contact me. You can follow me on Instagram, on TikTok. I also have a Facebook, and I pretty much approve every friend request that comes through. That's what these are. This link tree thing is pretty cool. So website, Instagram, email, phone call, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, YouTube channel. And for clients who want to send me payment, I can just send them over this link tree and they can cash at me right there. I'm going to see if I can shrink this so you guys can see it. There you go. There's a list of the 10 winners. And then upcoming Bay Area workshops here. And all my favorite gear and lots of discounts on these things because, I get to work with them and recommend them. So also, I'm just going to show you this briefly because it's so freaking cool. And then I'm going to let you guys go. This is the thing I use to demo Evoto live. It is a touch screen monitor and it rolls around. So I can literally roll it around the studio while we're shooting and I have it plugged into the laptop and clients can engage with it as though it's a touch screen computer. So they can actually go on Evoto and adjust the sliders themselves. And as a tech person living in a tech world with lots of techie friends and clients, they freaking love it. Get this thing. It's a game changer for your studio and it's worth every penny. I even bought it twice because it was way too heavy to ship back from Vegas when I was teaching at WPPI. So anyways, get it. It's on there. It's cool. It's really neat. And you can use Evoto on it while you're shooting and making adjustments instead of on a smaller laptop screen. Like if you want the big 32-inch, that's what you guys are going to do. So I'll keep that QR code up here for a couple more minutes. And I think I'm going to probably log us out and end this meeting. I didn't expect it to take 2 hours, but for those of you that hung around with me the whole time, I hope you got some amazing insight and I hope to hear from you guys again soon. So yeah, any other questions before I end this meeting? Now's the time. You're so very welcome, Rachel and Adette. I appreciate your guys' questions. I appreciate your time. I feel like if there's any one last thing that I want to say is how much I really love my clients. Like I love my clients. I love that I get to do this for a living. And I think if I could say that there was one thing missing from the photography industry, it's the service part of customer service. It is being taught profit first, people second. And I think that's wrong. I think it should be people first, profit second. You can have both things. You can be profitable. I have every confidence that this year is going to be the first year in the entire history of my career where I hit $500,000 revenue. And I'm grateful for it. But if I don't, if I serve 100 women and I make them feel beautiful every time they walk into a room for the next year of their life until they want to come back and do this again, like that would be fine with me. I have taken huge giant losses, $76,000 losses on my taxes. I've made no money and still cared this much about my clients. And I've built my dream studio now. Like your dreams can come true. You can have it all. And if you want guidance, feel free to come to me for that. I'd love to help you. So, okay. You're welcome, everybody. Have a lovely day. We will check in soon. I'm going to stop sharing for now. I'm going to end our meeting, and you guys were all great.